Thanks everyone for joining us, and welcome to the lovely new people. So Yana and Jenny, lovely to have you here, and to our other regular or people that we know already. So Louise, Donna, and Lynn, and myself on at the moment. So what we want to talk about today is planning, and we did a little session on this last time, and we were going to continue with that. So what I've got for you, and I just want to, before we start, does anybody have any vital questions about planning?
Just start at the beginning, Pauline.
Start at the beginning? That's exactly what I'm going to do, Louise. That's what I'll do. Okay, that's cool. So starting at the beginning, I don't plan the way that a lot of other people plan. I do things a little differently. That's me. I'm always a little bit odd. But there's several things. And if you're taking notes, that's really good. If you're not, then we'll have the recording to refer to. But the best way of planning is to start with you. So everyone else will tell you to start with, you know, the market and what's out there and what you can serve. But I think if you start with you and your passions and your interests and desires and all the things that you love doing, then you work out, well, how do I monetize that for a start? Have I got a skill set or something that can be monetized? And how much money do I want to make as well? And then you look at the product or service. So what have I got that the market wants? And is it a good, deep market? So I'm going to use you as an example today too, Louise. So I'm very glad that you're on the call. So we're going to have some fun. Okay, so you've got money, the product or service, and then you look at the customer. Who wants what I've got? So if you find that nice deep market and something that will go on forever. So a business can't be a fad. It has to be something where you will have a continuous flow of customers. And you're in an ideal business, Louise, because what you sell wears out. So, or needs topping up, or needs, you know, you constantly, if you're a business that needs more of what you've got, then that's a good deep business as well. So then after you get to those things, you look at your business model. So, and we'll talk about this in depth in a minute. And then you look at your marketing. So most people go, oh, I want to sell this to this market. I'm going to market in this way. And they've done no financial forecast. They've done no planning. They really just jump into a business. So I'm just going to give you the very brief overview of this today. And if you like it, you know, we can always do some more. We can always do a workshop on this or whatever, but let's just give you the bare bones for a start. So when you start with you start with what you're building. So, and am I building a big global business, or am I building a small boutique business, or is it somewhere in between that? So decide that first, because you'll kind of know instinctively what you feel about how you can manage a business, what your skill set is, and, you know, at what point would you hit overwhelm. If a big global business is too much, then there's nothing wrong with a small boutique business. So then you look at your special skill set. So are you a technician, a manager, or an entrepreneur? And so most people in small business are technicians. They know their product or service, they like it, they want to sell it, they're really happy with what it does, and they're really intimate with what it does. So that their skill set is actually of a technician to be able to deliver a product or service. And the hardest thing you can do is put a technician or even an entrepreneurial person into a management role, because most people, unless they're really well cut out for it, will just die slowly in a management role. They won't love it. So that's sort of the place to start. And then you look at how many years. And so we talked last time about how far into the future. These days, I reckon you could look about 3 years into the future before things start changing dramatically. So have a 3-year plan. It's nice it's manageable, a 3-year plan, and you can start to project, you know, what's going to happen, how old you'll be, how old your children will be, your parents, whatever the other circumstances are in your life, you'll be able to work that out. And then you chop it back to 1 year at a time. So you chop it back to this year in front of you, and then you chop it back into the next 90 days. So there's a couple of resources I'm going to give you from today, and we'll probably put it in the the links to this, Lynn, or something like that. We'll find a way to get it to you. So there's my 90-day plan, which is at Skillshare.
Yeah, we can actually email them out to everyone.
Excellent. Let's do that. So that is a link to Skillshare where you get 2 months free, so you can learn what I've got. My little course there only takes about, it's about 20 minutes worth of videos. It'll take you a little bit of time to go through it, but it's very simple and easy to understand. And then there's this worksheet that I talked about last time, which is the Trading Time for Money worksheet, which looks like this, if you can see that, but you might not be able to see it all. So what this is, it just shows you how to work out the money side of your business and how much you want. So the way I do it, and if you've got questions, just stop me at any time, because I'm going to barrel through this fairly quickly. But the first thing you do is think about, okay, I've thought about me, I know what I've got something amazing, I want to share it with the world. And then I want to think about, is this a money-making idea, or is this a hobby, or is this a fad? But if it's a good money-making idea, then you think about, well, how much money do I want to make? So after you've thought about money, you can then break it down into your ideal customers. So what I'm going to do, Louise, if it's okay, I'm going to use you as my test case. And so the first thing you think about is, who are you serving? And then you break it down into segments. And then we're going to talk about how much could a customer spend with you over 12 months. And then we're going to talk about how many customers you would need to reach your goal. And by the time you've done that, then you can work a business model. So a lot of people work the business model first without working out what the income's going to be. So let's go with you, Louise. So Louise, you're in love with shoes. So shoes are your essential business. So just break down for me the target market segments you've got. So I know that you do shoes for people in the airlines.
Yep.
And what are your other segments that you've got?
Okay, so I basically do it into airline and corporate, but really airline can be a uniform market. So for instance, the funeral industry is another one I'm targeting at the moment.
Okay, so why don't we just break it down into, because there'd be different needs for different things. So we go airline, we'll go corporate, and we'll go, let's say, funeral industry. Where do you think the biggest chunk of money is?
Well, with the funeral industry, I'm hoping to get like a contract for a large quantity.
Okay, I like your thinking, because that's what we're going to talk about now.
Yeah. Whereas the corporates and the airlines in Australia are more individuals.
Okay, all right. So they don't tend to buy as a company.
Correct. So the airlines in, say, the US or the UK are still, or even Emirates, actually they've started to group and buy their own now. So there are still some airlines that buy everyone the same shoes, and the same with the funeral industry.
Yeah.
So I really want to target them so I can get like a contract for a sum of shoes on a regular basis. Yeah. But then I'll have my individuals.
All right, cool. So let me just, so let's call that, so 3 target market segments, and then you focus on one segment. So when you're planning, just focus on one segment at a time and then just go through that. So let's say that we go to the funeral industry, and let's say that each customer buys 2 pairs of shoes a year, and I'm just going to average it out at $200 for a pair of shoes. And so each customer will spend $400. So you work out what's the lifetime value of a customer over a year. So that customer will spend $400 with you in a year. If your income goal is $500,000, so $500,000, you would need to sell 1,250 customers over 12 months. To hit your income goal. You with me? Cool. Now, if those customers were only buying 1 pair, you'd need 2,500 customers. So all of a sudden you can see the economies of scale as well. If I can sell more to the same customer, then I don't have to work as hard, and I've got repeat business as well. So then you think about, okay, if each customer bought 4 pairs of shoes, you'd only need 625 customers. So then you think about, okay, if I'm a national business, for example,
Yep.
Could I possibly get 625 customers in a year? So, and if it's doable, then you think about, what's my business model? Is my business model going to be the one-to-one sales, or is my business model going to be the one-to-many sales? So you can see the leverage of doing one-to-many. Now, not every business can do it, but most businesses, if you really wrap your head around it, can think about, how could I do one-to-many? How could I get my product in the hands of a big company and have all of the people in that industry using my product? So that's a good way of planning. So then once you've got your business model, then you do your marketing plan, because you know exactly who you're marketing to. You're marketing to a group of people who all have a need for something that you've got, and then you can really talk to them. So you would talk to the people in the airline industry way differently to the people in the funeral industry. Different uses, different problems, different everything, really. Still shoes, though. That's the primary thing. So actually, that's about as simple as it needs to be. And then the money part of it all slots into that. So you can work out how much money I can make, or how much money is it feasible for a customer to buy 2 pairs of shoes, or is it possible to buy 4 pairs of shoes? You know, what is it that I want to sell to them? So I'm going to open it up for questions at this stage, because I don't want to overwhelm you all at once. What questions do you have? Anybody?
Well, I find it feasible, but then the marketing side of it gets me. I don't know. The growth side of things is getting me.
So what is it about the growth side of things? It is the amount of work that you have to put in, or the kind of work you have to put in? Is it the time, or is it the actual strategy?
I think I need a strategy.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so that would go into your, that goes into your marketing plan. So you really just need to think about that, and think about where, number one thing, what's the biggest problem that industry has, and where do they go looking for solutions? Because if I can turn up where they're looking for solutions, I don't have to keep pushing at them. They're seeing me where they're looking for me.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone else got anything to add to that?
Pauline, it's Lynn here. I've just been chatting. I don't know if Jenny from Tower Hill's online, but we were talking earlier on this week or yesterday about how she could do the one-to-many by actually collaborating with different groups and associations, hooking into some of the business associations to bring people to her event space, her studio space. So in the same way, you can use this strategy at a local and a regional level. Just in terms of what Louise was saying, though, the marketing is all there for brand and for credibility and raising awareness. But I think what a lot of women I've noticed in doing these 30-minute Grow and Thrive sessions is that they don't realise that there's still a sales process that has to happen. So you still need really the person-to-person that converts a sale. People, unless you've got a lot of money and you have a low-cost, fast-moving consumer good that's suitable to online, it does require a person-to-person business development process or a sales process to actually engage and convert people. Would you say that's true, Pauline?
Yes, and most business owners quail at the thought of selling. So if you are going to be, if you're a solopreneur, if you're very committed to being a very small boutique and a solopreneur, there's a lot of things you need to learn. You need to learn finance, you need to learn marketing, you need to learn sales, you know, you need to learn all your admin. There's all those sorts of things. And this is what I was getting back to. Who are you? What skill set do you have? And if you looked out 3 years into the future, a lot of businesses grow in that time and they end up in a management role rather than in the role that they really love. So learning how to sell is a really, really good strategy, and getting over that icky, uncomfortable, that dirty feeling of selling. And it's something that I've learned, and it does make a huge difference to be able to sell. So, you know, you can do marketing up to a point, but if you can't sell, you're not going anywhere. So if you really, really hated selling, there's two things you can do: get over it and learn to like it, or find someone who'll do it for you. So that's really your only two options. There isn't any other way that you can sell. A lot of people try to sell by, you know, doing good marketing or sort of stealth selling, or, you know, I hope they buy selling, that kind of stuff. But ultimately, you do need to get face to face with somebody and ask them the question.
And
for a
but
lot
for
of people,
an online store, though, that could be video use.
Oh yeah, it could be. Yeah, it doesn't have to be in person. It can be video. So if you're selling to anywhere else in Australia other than where you are, then yeah, it's a great way of doing it. And you would sort of build that rapport over time. And so let's get together and have an exploratory meeting so we can talk about what you need and everything, and then we'll do this and then we'll do that. So you have a sales process mapped out, and they know what the sales process is. But you'd never try to sell on the first contact. Well, I wouldn't. What about you, Lynn?
No, that's excellent.
Yep. So the sales has to be as sophisticated as the marketing as well, because if you can't bring them over the line, you're just not going to get anywhere. And the other thing is, if you really don't like selling and you want to hire a salesperson, then you will have to significantly increase your income to pay them what they're worth. Good salespeople are quite expensive. If they do it well, they're worth it. But if you really don't like selling, then it's a good idea to find somebody who will sell for you, or even better yet, teach you how to sell. And it's nowhere near as difficult as you think it is. It's actually really elegant and fun. And it's like, for me, if I can have a laugh with somebody, I've made a sale, because we've got this great rapport going. So it's something that you can learn. Any other questions? Jenny, anything we can do for you?
No, I was just listening to all of that, and that all sounds wonderful, and I completely agree. And for me, with the sales thing, that seems to come fairly easily for me, because I love what I do, and I love people, and I love communicating, and I love art, and I love being creative, and I love just communicating. You know what I mean? So the sales thing is not really no, it's not a tricky one for me, but I can see how it would be difficult for some people. But coming back to what Lynn was saying earlier today, with the, you know, interacting with other organisations like the tourism board and all that sort of stuff, really completely makes sense. So definitely avenues I'm going to, you know, take part in.
Yes, and even if you do want a relatively small business, the network you have is the thing that's going to really increase your business. You can scale your business just by knowing the right people. The other thing I do want to say about sales, though, is whatever industry you're selling into, you have to have you need a good understanding of that industry, and you need to have some sort of rapport with those people as well. So it's a good idea to dive deep into the kind of customer you want. You need to talk about making avatars and things like that. If you know who you're selling to, and you can build that kind of rapport, and you really enjoy selling to those people, then it's certainly not a chore. So it's a skill worth developing.
Yeah. Can I just ask, so you were saying that never try to make the sale on the first contact. Can you elaborate on that?
It's a bit like going up to somebody. I don't know, who likes networking? Anyone like networking?
I like socializing.
Well, you know, I don't mind networking.
Yes.
Pauline.
Exactly.
I like it for all the wrong reasons.
We wouldn't be here without networking. So this is what I'm talking about. So if I had a $5 item, it'd probably be easy to sell it on first contact. But if I'm selling, you know, a $500 item, or a $2,000 or a $20,000 item, the sales process for me needs to be a lot more sophisticated. And so in a networking situation, I wouldn't walk up to somebody and say, do you want to buy my stuff? And that's what people try to do. They try to do their marketing, or they put a sales page online, or they'll do some sort of marketing strategy expecting to make an immediate sale. But it's not a bad idea to have a small thing that someone can buy to test out, and then another thing until you get to the sale. but sometimes it's just the number of contacts you have with somebody, so that you break down those barriers and you build that rapport, and you end up with a great client who is going to buy from you again and again, and who'll refer their friends as well. So, you know, the kind of things that I sell are fairly high ticket. My services are fairly high ticket. So it usually takes anywhere between 3 and 5 contacts and conversations. So I might start with a phone call, and then I might turn it into a meeting. And then, then I'll turn it into, so a phone call, and then I'll send out some information to get them to understand, get them to give me some information. So a questionnaire or something like that. And then we'll have a meeting, and I might sell at that meeting. If they're not ready, back off a bit and a bit more information, and maybe sell at the next meeting. So it does depend on the person that you're talking to as well. Does that actually answer your question, Jenny?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Sure.
I'm just trying to sort of think about, so one of the paths I want to take is approach the bigger businesses here around my area in regards to group bookings and that sort of stuff. So, and coming up to Christmas time and that sort of thing. And I mean, it's quite relevant all throughout the year anyway for any sort of social event. But I'm just sort of thinking about how I would approach them and how I would try and, so I've going into it, I would want to make the sale straight up, but is that the right thing or not for my type of thing? So I do wine and art classes basically, so which are loads of fun and great for group bookings in all sorts of ways, whether it's a hen's party or a work bonding session or you know, birthday, whatever it might be. And so my idea is to head over to them and basically, you know, make the pitch of what they can get out of it and what they can experience.
Yes.
And hopefully make the sale. So
what's the catalyst? Why would they buy what you've got? Why do they want what you've got?
Well, because it's something different for a start. So you know, everyone's looking for something different these days in regards to a social event, aren't they? And they get to basically experience it. They get to have a lot of fun. They get to create some art. They go home with a finished product. They, you know, it's something that the bosses, I imagine, would get a lot of pats on the back from the employees who are going, oh, great session, that was fantastic, something I've never done before, you know, that kind of thing. So it really is actually a great idea. Like I know if I personally had a boss who said, yeah, we're going to a Christmas party, and they came and did my lesson, I'd be wrapped, absolutely wrapped. And, you know, I know that with all my students that I've had so far, I love it. And the word's spreading, which is fantastic. And I'm getting a lot of wonderful feedback and, you know, people asking for future dates and that sort of stuff. So it's definitely the ball started rolling. So I just need to kind of go upscale a bit. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And so then thinking about who you're selling to as well, are you selling to the boss at this stage, or are you more likely to sell to the practice manager or an office manager or someone within the business who makes those decisions? So
well,
the conversation will be quite different with each different person.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So that would be the thing. It'd be a matter of a phone call and finding out who does make that ultimate decision at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes before you even do that, it's about thinking about what's the benefit. So if I'm selling to corporate, there has to be a bottom line benefit. There has to be not just we're going to have lots of good fun and everyone's going to bond. It's more like if the manager makes that sort of decision, it's like, what's the bottom line stuff? What are we getting out of this?
Yeah.
Just addressing all those concerns before you even make contact. So, you know, I reckon some great marketing, some great forward marketing would just introduce the whole idea first. And then you're always going to get people who go, no, I don't want to do that. The introverts are going, no, I'm not doing that. And the extroverts who go, yeah, let's do it. So, just really like dive deep and just think about it and think about who in that business would be the champion for getting this thing across the line. Someone who can, you know, rally the troops and get everybody there and everybody excited. That's the person you need to speak to. And it might not be the boss.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, of course, it makes sense completely. Yeah. Okay.
Jana and Leanne, haven't heard from you. Do you have anything to add? Any questions you want to ask?
No, I'm enjoying what you're talking about.
Cool. Can you just give me a brief outline on what you do, Jana, what your business is about?
So I do consultancy, but I'm actually looking at assisting in the governance space at the moment. So yeah, just learning how we can scale the business because of the rapid growth that we've been through. Just
Right.
hectic, writing a lot of notes as you speak.
Take shorthand. Yeah. Thank you. Leanne, how can we help you?
I'm a mobile travel agent, Pauline, and I try and give my client the experience that they want, which means I'll listen and ask questions to ensure that happens, saving time for corporates, and I enjoy helping people.
So is yours a one-to-one or a one-to-many model?
As in businesses, or?
As in, yeah, as in your ideal customers, to scale your business, would you go for one-to-one customers, or would you go for the one person who has the many customers who can, you know, like Jana was saying about going to corporates?
I do go to corporates, and that works well. So
Yep.
I do a bit of both.
Okay.
My main focus is corporates.
Yep.
And then leisure as well.
Cool. Okay. Any questions at this stage?
No, I've written lots of notes, like Jana.
Very good. That's very good. Okay, so back to you, Louise. Anything that you need as a result of what we've just talked about?
Okay, for me, I need a system. Here's my little people I need to contact. It's all on this little piece of paper I've scribbled out.
Yes.
How do I put it onto a system where, I don't know, time frames or timelines, or how do I put it down on a piece of paper where I can see it clearly what I want to do?
Okay. All right. So if you, I'm going to give you that 90-day plan, the Skillshare. I can't read you the link because it's full of numbers and things like that, but I'm going to get Lynn to post that with it, or we'll send it out. But if you do the 90-day plan, it actually shows you that. It shows you what's my goal, what am I trying to achieve here?
Yep.
What are all the strategies I need to employ? And that's everything from who do I contact to what do I need to know? Do I need to learn anything? What resources do I need? All of those things go in there. And then you plan it out over 13 weeks. And you put a little X in the week where you're going to do that activity, and then you just follow the system. It becomes your boss. So, and don't try and do too much at once. In 90 days, you can get a lot done, but I would suggest that you only have you want to go in the next 90 days, and just think, what are my 3 top goals? And then what are the strategies I need to employ? What are the weeks I'm going to do this in? And then I just tick it off as I go. And you'll find that just by doing one plan, the first plan, you'll realize that you're probably trying to do too much in a very short space of time. But you learn so much from just doing that one plan in that way. So that will really help. And then you just continue to do that. Sorry?
Pauline, do you have anything like an onboarding process? Like, is that what you're talking about, or are you talking about a 9-day plan? Because I've got an onboarding process, but it's more for like a tech thing rather than other sales.
Okay, so the 90-day plan is all about whatever goals you want to reach. So an onboarding process, you could actually work it out as a 90-day plan as well. So it could be your goal to have an onboarding process, then you go through all of this, all of the steps that you need to think about for that, and then you section it out into each week. But yes, I do have onboarding processes. So for me, it's about thinking about all the different segments of your business and then working out what's my process, what do I do to make this happen? And there's usually, there's several steps to it. And if you don't have it laid out, it's all trying to live in your head, and it's just too hard. So, I think business planning, any kind of planning like this, needs to be big, broad overview first, and then detailed as you get closer to where you are today. and then taking those actions on a consistent basis and just recognizing. So even just you saying today, you know, an onboarding process, some people might not have an onboarding process. They don't know what even that is. So, you know, bringing on a client, how do I bring on a new client? And I do have a process of how I bring on a new client. And it's a seamless thing that goes from marketing to sales to onboarding. And it's the same as employing people. Marketing to get great people, sales process to pitch them on you and you on and them on you, and then onboarding them into your business. So yeah, systems are brilliant, but don't try to do them all at once. You know, it's like if it's important in your business right now, then put it in your 90-day plan and just do that one thing. Leanne.
Yes.
What can we do for you?
Yep.
All good?
Yeah, I'm just listening to, I was just going to write down what you were saying.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. And Louise, can I get your name? Because I'd like to connect if that's all right.
Louise Matson. Matson.
Okay,
Cool. Lynn, anything that you want to add to that?
Pauline, can you hear me?
Yes, can do.
Excellent. I've got you all on loudspeaker. This is the joy. I'm actually been listening to this as I've been driving through peak hour traffic leaving Perth. It's all systems go at this side of the world. But what I was thinking in relation to some of the questions is, once you've got your 90-day plan and you're really thinking about your business in terms of your 3-year horizon, I think it's really important that you have the systems and processes in your business, like a good CRM, a customer relationship management system, and also a good project management tool that you can keep track of all the projects and then basically put them down into tasks, so that at some stage you can actually give those tasks that you can offload to someone that's more junior or a contractor. So it frees you up to keep building, repeating, regenerating, doing more deals, doing more pitches to bring in business. So, I can, when I hear like Louise saying, I've got these bits of paper and I've got this and that, I think it's really important that you have a database and a good customer relationship management system, a good CRM, something like, I know in Businesswomen Australia, I've certainly seen Insightly work pretty well for BWA as a small business. I mean, in corporate, I was using fairly hefty, big CRMs, that the Microsoft Office 360 CRM, which is pretty powerful, and Salesforce. So, these CRMs enable you to put your contacts in there, keep a record of, how you're working them through a relationship development process through conversion, and keeps notes of meetings and in a record of your emails attached to that person, so you can look at, okay, I haven't spoken to them in 3 or 4 weeks. What was our last communication about? Are they waiting on something? Do they, can have it all set up, and you can set tasks then for other people as you grow. So I think, some of these computer systems are really useful, and I haven't, I think a lot of women don't realise how valuable they are. And it is obviously another bit of tech you have to learn. But the other one, Asana, we use in BWA to organise projects and then break all our projects into tasks and then assign tasks to people and to dates, so that I know, for example, that my marketing interns are actually, when they've done it, they mark it as complete, and I go, yep, bang, they're online, or, something's happened, someone's fallen behind, it sort of alerts me. So these sort of systems, I think, when you're scaling, I think it was Jana that was questioning about systems to scale. I think these are the sorts of things you have to start bringing into your business when you're gone beyond startup and you're actually starting to go into that growth phase. And excellent for governance too, because it keeps you sort of aware of what people are doing where, and helps you identify where there's a need for training and education. When, if someone's sort of falling over continually on something, might be because they haven't been taught properly.
Yeah, I feel I need a business manager of some sort. I'm not I just want to go and play with shoes, really. I can talk to customers. I can do the networking and stuff like that, but really my business needs someone who knows how to really grow this business the way I want it to grow.
Yes. Yes. So, and some of that can just be technology. Some of that could be someone who knows good technology and can use good technology. So, you know, for a lot of years in my first several businesses, I just used spreadsheets, Excel spreadsheets, to manage all that sort of stuff before I worked out what sort of CRM I needed to use as well. And I've had really big CRMs, and I've just gone down to, I had Entreport, which was just too big for my business. It was brilliant. I loved it, but too expensive for the size of business I am. And I'm using ConvertKit now because it actually is made for the kind of business that I'm moving more into. So it's a bit of a minefield searching for CRMs. And so it's kind of like one of those things. You just need to know, what is it I'm trying to achieve? If you start to write down things that bug you, things you need to know about, people, contacts, dates and times, appointments, all that sort of stuff, and systems, then just start writing down some of those things that bug you, that you can't seem to get over at the moment. And then there'll be a solution for that. It'll be a people solution or a system solution or technology solution. So
financial solution.
Donna's a financial solution. Yes.
You mean somebody with big, deep pockets, not a piece of tech.
You know, oh, look, you know what? The thing about money and business is I just don't think women focus enough on money and business. I think we kind of think, well, if I just work hard enough and everything, you know, then the money will just come. Well, it doesn't necessarily. You do actually have to have a good financial plan, and that's part of doing a business plan. So I just barely touched on it by saying, how much time have I got? How much money do I want to make? How many customers do I want? And how much are they going to spend with me? And then I can work out how I can put my whole business together like that, instead of just wishing and hoping that if I just do enough things, it'll all turn out in the end. It doesn't happen like that. You do actually have to put the whole number thing together, and it's really nothing to be scared of. Honestly, it's way simpler than you expect. So even, you know, basic bookkeeping stuff, if you knew that stuff when you started business, if you knew the terminology, you wouldn't be nearly so afraid of it. It's just, you know, there's 10 different words for one thing, which is quite frustrating. So,
and for those who are struggling with that, I've just done a course that you can complete.
Yeah. So, look, I'd love to be able to solve the problems of the world in one Zoom. Unfortunately, we can't. But gee, we can get to the tip of the iceberg, and we can just, you know, pull some things out of this, of things that you want to do. So, if has it been valuable for you? Like, what I'd really love to find out from each person is, what's been the most valuable thing you've learned today, and what action are you going to take because of it? So, Donna, I'm going to start with you, because you're staring me in the face, actually.
Well, you know, I am forever in a conundrum about this. But as we spoke the other day, we talked about changing your audience. So I am always trying to do the one-to-one, and it's not particularly successful, although that's who I want. So it's maybe talking to somebody else who talks to my audience, so they already trust that person, and then they recommend what you've got, and then you don't have to do the selling because somebody else has done it for you.
Yes.
So
that's the right thinking. It's like, if I want to serve tradies, I can go one-to-one, or I can go to the Traders Association, talk to the right people in that association, and say, look, I've got this amazing tool that you might find interesting. Can I present it to your people? And let's take it from there. So it's just a matter of thinking differently.
I can see a video coming on with a tradie.
Hey, I got myself a tradie. And
So,
what's
Louise-
more, he's a handyman. Every girl's dream.
Oh, you need
a
that.
hammer hanging from the belt.
So, Louise, what's been valuable for you?
Well, as you probably know too, I've got so much in my head and it kind of goes like this, and I write lots of pieces of paper and I've got lots of lists, and so that I think the 90-day plan will be fantastic for me to actually get things down and see it all. And
And you know, it's on one sheet. It's just one sheet. So you don't have lots of bits of note paper and everything. It's
Pauline,
just
you
one
wait,
sheet.
I'll make it 5. You wait.
Stop it.
And I think that's the thing. I've always, been reaching past where I'm actually at.
Yeah.
So
yeah. That's why the discipline of 90 days will make you really think about, can I do all of this, or can I just focus on this bit? Because in 90 days time, I'll have some more, and then some more, and some more. So you don't load it all in at once and trying to do it all at once. You just do one little bit at a time, just one step at a time, and you will definitely get there way faster than trying to do everything and hold it all in your head. So
the other thing I've been reconsidering is, you girls probably remember when I started Louise M Shoes, that I did the shoes and champagne nights, and I'm wondering whether to have that again, because in actual fact most of my customers are on the East Coast, and I'm wondering, a lot of Perth people seem to want to try them on or want to see what they're about. So, do I spend my time doing something like that, or am I better just to keep focusing on the online and, maybe my market is the East Coast, and just spend my time, maybe put it into videos and things like that that are,
and the only way you'll find out is just to test the market and to have a look and see what's been successful in the past. So look at the champagne and shoes and find out how much effort, time, money you spent on doing that, and then what was the return on investment, how much did you sell, and then for each thing that you do, just break it down into what's my return on investment, and that will start to give you a guide of whether you're going to go east, go online, have people in your home, whatever it is it's going to be. But yeah, do the numbers first.
Okay.
And also, Louise, who was the other person that did the art and wine? Sorry, who was that?
It was me, Jenny.
Aneta?
Yeah, Jenny, was it?
Jenny, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jenny.
see,
Sorry.
even if Jenny was doing one of her things and it was predominantly all women in a workplace, you might be able to do something with her. So there is shoes, champagne and art, but in some sort of quirky way. I mean, you're then getting more than just the people you can contact. You might be able to mix it in with something that Jenny does. So maybe trying to think, not necessarily Jenny, but someone like Jenny, so that you're getting to a broader audience, and
So are they.
Yeah.
I like your thinking on that.
Yeah.
That's good thinking. Good joint venture stuff. I really like that.
Yeah.
Jenny, what have you?
It gets a bit lonely on my own.
Yeah. And you're a people person, Louise. Jenny, what have you learnt from today?
Oh, I've learned heaps. Thank you so much, by the way, and hello to everyone. And this has been great joining you guys. So definitely the 90-day plan is something I'm very much interested in, because I'm very much like Louise. I've just got many things going on at once and just need to kind of get it all down into a plan, basically. And a 90-day plan makes complete sense, because you have this idea of kind of going, right, this is what I want to do for the whole year, but then it's great to have the grand plan and the extended view, but 90 days just makes much more sense, and it seems so much more doable, doesn't it? So, So I'm really looking forward to getting the 90-day plan and working on that for sure. But also, I'm so rapt to hear the CRM. I mean, my gosh, I've been just doing it on my Word document and that sort of stuff, and it's taking longer and longer. It's like, now, what
There's some really good
last one? But
there's some terrific CRMs out there that you can get for almost free as well. So
great, Which ones are they?
HubSpot is one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been using Capsule CRM. I mean, I installed it when I first started my business. It's probably really old hat, but in actual fact, because I used to write customers in books, and I'm like, oh my God, could never find what I spoke to them about. So
Yeah.
so that's been great for me. It's probably pretty basic, but it's.
Hey, if basic works, use that. Don't overcomplicate it. You don't need to
Yeah.
overcomplicate
But I am
it.
going to look further into what else it offers, because it probably has, as you say, Lynn, it probably has all these other little systems in it that I actually haven't explored.
Yes, yes, that's true. Leanne,
Yes.
so
I like the 3-year plan, chopping it back to 1 year and then chopping it back to 90 days. I like the idea of that, working through that. But I also like the CRM tool as well.
yeah, you know, a little bit of technology will really make a big difference too. And with the 90-day plan, with my link, you get 2 months free of that, and you get access to over 3,000 classes. So just don't do the 3,000 classes before you do the 90-day plan, okay? So just do the one thing first, one thing. It's like a kinder lolly shop. It's just so exciting.
Well, can
Okay.
I ask, what do you do for a video? Say if I wanted to make some videos, what's a good way of doing it?
An iPhone is the best way of doing videos.
Put it on a tripod-y thing?
Yeah, put on a little tripod. I prop it up on a desk, and I do my videos standing up always, never slumped in a chair. So I'm standing up at the moment. So put your phone in a little tripod.
Yeah.
Plug in a good headset. So I've just bought another new headset so I can do, because I'm starting podcasting. So I bought another new headset so I can do dual podcasting. So I've got, I can split it with my phone, and I can have, each person has their own mic. So very basic stuff, $45 for a good mic. And yeah, you don't really need anything more than that. It's actually very, very good. I've made most of my videos on my phone.
Yeah, Louise, the microphone's really important. Get one that's up close to your mouth, not one that's a long way away from you, because people will put up with a bit of crappy video. They won't put up with crappy sound. So
Yeah. And make sure the mic, when it's attached to your top, make sure it's just attached to somewhere that's not going to ruffle, and it's not going to make a whole...
Don't wear dangly earrings because they click as well.
I'll put no rustling, okay?
Yes. Stay still, yes. Okay, Miss Lynn, anything you'd like to share with us?
Look, I've really enjoyed this session. I thought the last one we did on business planning was an amazing session, and I've actually learned even more in this one. For me, the 90-day plans are really important. I do everything in 90-day lots, and that's why it's quite interesting, because even our event schedule, you know, I do 90 days in advance. I think that one of the big things is, for me, the challenge is that one-to-many, being in a relationship-based business, and especially the BWA side of things, it's all about the individual. So we can do a lot of marketing and a lot of collaborations that bring us and connect us to bigger groups. You know, like we've got something coming up with Hong Kong Australia Business Association. Earlier in the year, we did some things with Governance Institute. You know, I like being at hosted events, because then, you know, Shadforth or BDO are bringing in their people and their clients, and it's helping introduce business women to people outside their normal sort of spheres of influence. But at the end of the day, it's always about one-to-one, and I think even in a corporate environment, it's people to people. So it is, at the end of the day, even if your strategy is one-to-many, it's the conversion comes to the individual relationship, and I just want everyone to be really clear about that. Even when we get a big deal over the line with a big corporate partner, at the end of the day, it's whether or not that person, the national relationship manager, whether or not they like me. You know, the likability. Could they feel that I'm going to listen to them? Are they feeling that there's something in it for them, that we're going to be able to be responsive and nimble and be able to change direction if they come up with something new? Are they going to enjoy working with me? And then at the end of the day, if through that relationship they meet other people like me, and they like that, then they'll renew, or they'll come back, or they'll buy more, or whatever it might be. But it always comes back to that one-to-one.
Yes. Yeah. It's nice. It's really nice to go, like Louise with your shoes, going to an industry as a one-to-many, and then each individual person or each, person in that office, and then the people that you meet along the way. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's it, isn't it, Lynn? It's that really lovely personal contact and the, the,
Well, it's getting on
warmth
with the decision maker, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And you get that person on side, and then they'll do the selling for you as well. So, yeah. Cool. All right. I think, we could just do this forever and ever, but I think we've come to the end of our lollipop. So I'm going to wrap it up. But what we'll do is we'll send you the resources. So the 90-day plan link and the time for money worksheet as well. So you can work out just how much money I would like to make and how I'm going to make that as well. So anything else? I'm going to sign off. Lynn, would you like to say anything else to sign off? Can't hear you. You're muted. You're muted.
She's speechless.
It's the perfect me. You don't have to hear me. No, I just say thank you to everyone who took the time out to jump online, and it's just another great way for us to connect and to see each other. It's a part of, we're all in situations where we're quite often working in isolation, and it's really nice just to connect and to be hearing and to learning so much. So thank you, Pauline. Always love your sessions. Feel free to send that information directly out. Don't send it. Don't wait for me to do it. Just, you've got everyone's emails, so send it right out. Then they've got your contact details direct and can see what you're all about as well.
Cool. All right. Thank you very much, ladies. Loved your company. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks,
That's what I needed today. See you.